right. Peace and wholeness to all. Master Chef here, your comedic metaphysical warrior priest, and you are now flowing with the chi. Once again, the chi is an acronym for the Collective Health Initiative, which is your holistic HMO. And you are now tuned in to another episode of the health class you never had. All right. And so with that, just as a reminder, this health class you never had is our weekly dose broadcast, if you will, 1 hour of just tips, tools, and suggestions on various remedies, solutions to various health challenges that we may be facing. Also, possible causes of these challenges, all coming from a holistic perspective, which means that holistic, we include the 4 bodies that we involved with, reside in: physical body, the emotional body, the mental body, and the physical body, as well as our environment. And my person seems to have an echo coming because this live stream may be happening here. Is anyone hearing an echo? No echo? Yes. One moment, let us stop this echo here. Let's see, I have to go back to this live stream. Yes. One moment, let us stop this echo here. Let's see, let's go back to this live stream. It's not there. Okay, let's cut off this, and this. Echo is gone. All right. There's too many tabs open. Now we'll come back to this other tab. Come back to this other tab. Too many devices.
Live on Facebook.
Right. That's what you get when you go live, right? Echo gone. Sound like echo gone. Echo gone. Ancestors. Okay, when the ancestors still know it's my person talking with the echo this time. Okay. Yes, back to the topic at hand, the health class you never had. Again, providing you weekly dose. Very short, very sweet, to the point, hit it and quit it, and just simple lifestyle changes that can facilitate change. And if you want more information, you can also check out our Collective Health Initiative page, which you can find tutorials and workshops, as well as to reach out to us individually for more specifics and going in depth with certain topics and or healing services. And of course, reach out for us as your holistic HMO. You know, as a collective, we can all work with you, kind of team up, teamwork, making the dream work. And with that, just a reminder that, and also an FYI for those who may not be aware, this is your first time viewing, that several weeks ago, we put out a Love Yourself to Life challenge. And what that looks like is, well, we chose a viewer to challenge them to love yourself to life. Look at their lifestyle, where they want to go, and put us to the test as far as assisting them with holistic remedies, suggestions on how to get to that goal. And so next week, we will have our guest, Sister Kaliba Scott, who is the winner of that Love Yourself to Life challenge, and you will get a chance to hear exactly from her what the challenge was that she is and or was dealing with, and her experience with working with holistic HMO to resolve that. So again, stay tuned for next week on that. And now back to what was happening right now, today's program, right? The health class you never had. Today's topic is the holistic connections of high blood pressure. The holistic connection of high blood pressure. Again, holistic HMO, baby. Again, most of us are familiar with high blood pressure, but now we just want to touch a little bit on the, again, the holistic connection with that. And my person just going to get this ball started off. Okay, now we're in the speaker view and we still have Mother Love up. So let's go back to the gallery view for some reason. All right, so from my person's perspective, again, 2 disclaimers. One, is that we are not medical doctors. We are indigenous holistic practitioners. That's who we are. And the information I provide is for education purposes only. Now, for my personal disclaimer is that what we're sharing is simply from our experience. It's working over the years as a metaphysician, simply looking at how energy works, just studying how energy works, more specifically with self, who is self based upon its energetic vibration, energetic looking. Nonetheless, the holistic connections of high blood pressure, what does that look like? Well, my person just want to just touch on just thinking just for a moment. Thinking. Most of us have the idea of there's healthy thinking and unhealthy thinking, right? Okay. And the idea is, how do we go to more healthy thinking? Well, again, from my person's perspective and experience, we want to look at, first of all, what is thinking? What does it take place? And how do we align ourselves with healthy thinking? Okay, so first of all, what is thinking? My person simply says, thinking is the process of taking in information and organizing it into a particular belief or perspective. Again, thinking, in a nutshell, from my person's perspective, because we thought about this. My person's thinking said that thinking could be looked at as the process of taking in information and organizing it into a particular belief or perspective. Now, what does it take place?
Shep,
yes.
Master Shep, excuse me, are you alone today?
Well, we're here with the chief practitioner.
You got people with you?
Yes.
Who's with you?
You're on the screen right now. You see you.
Oh, I didn't know we could all be seen. I didn't know if people knew who is here today.
Well, basically what you see on this screen is what people see on the screen that are watching.
Just introductions, please.
Master Shep, your committed metaphysical warrior priest at your service.
Okay, great. So I'll introduce myself. I am Elaine Williams, and I am here on this particular topic from the perspective of the breath. I'm also a yoga instructor and am very interested in all that the Chi is doing. So I'd like you to meet my colleague. Thank you.
Next up.
Peace. This is Dr. Yu, holistic wellness consultant, herbalist, here at your service as well. Glad to be here with the Chi today, this morning on this lovely broadcast.
Right on. Next up. Anyone else?
One Love and Wellness. I'm Precious Mother Love. I'm a sacred art curator, and I help you heal through the healing arts as well as the art of healing.
Right on, right on.
And my name is Clarice Manning, and I have a natural body care products business rooted in nature, where I sell all natural body care and hair care products as well, dealing with any kind of health discomforts that you may have. And great to be on with everybody this morning.
Peace and wholeness, everyone. I am Stefana Pickett, founder of Royal Reset. I'm on the boards today. I am a nutrition educator, organic urban farmer, amongst other things, and an herbalist. And I'm looking forward to helping you with your questions online. So please post them in the Chi group or on the Chi page, and we will get to them on the show. Peace, everyone.
Right on, right on. All right, there we have it. Give thanks, Mama Elaine. So, back to the regular schedule. Engagement. Yes. Where does this happen and what's the significance? Thinking, that is. Where does this thinking happen and what's the significance? What are we talking about here? My person looks at the brain as more or less an antenna. It receives information from our heart and our minds, which are non-physical entities. And there's a process of transforming that energy into those signals into signals for the body to use. It gives signals to the body based upon the interpretation of what it receives from the heart and the mind in a nutshell. That's what the brain does. So where's the mind or the heart? Where do these thinking take place? Generally speaking, from our throat chakra. My person spoke about the heart and the mind relationship to the chakras, energy centers of the body. And generally speaking, the throat chakra is an energy center in our throat. pun intended, right? And it governs our thinking, communication, our beliefs, and analyzing things like that. And also a correlation with our throat chakra is it has a correlation with our thyroid and also with the lungs. And the lungs have a correlation with the emotion of grief. So what does that look like? Well, if our thinking is sort of unhealthy, it can cause thyroid issues. And there are connections between the thyroid gland and high blood pressure, as well as an unhealthy thinking can cause us to have grief, sorrow, longing. We're here in the now, we're present, but yet this is grief, this sorrow for things that happened in the past, people, places, and things that we want to get back to. That's tension on the body that can cause high blood pressure. So again, if our thinking is out of line, if we have unhealthy thoughts, controlled thoughts even, thinking that the way society say that we should think versus having our own individual thoughts as an individual, it could cause an unharmonious flow within our throat chakra. So we begin to communicate these things to ourselves, talk to ourselves, have these thoughts among ourselves. Again, can affect the thyroid gland and or the lungs, which can affect our emotional state of being, as well as, again, all contribute to high blood pressure. So in a nutshell, that's how this thinking can contribute to high blood pressure by the medium of our throat chakra. And what we think, what we believe, based upon the information that we take in. Take this information, put it together, and we form something about it, right? Cool. So how do we resolve that? How do we get a more holistic, harmonious way of thinking? My person's perspective, we work with the chakra itself with crystals. There are herbs you can eat, take, drink. There's also foods you can eat. There are oils you can sniff. There are different modalities. The other practitioners goes off into them quite a bit. My person just off into crystals, meditation, and exercise. So my person does have a lifestyle we call daily self-care practices, in which every evening in our reflecting time, we're breathing into the nose, out to the mouth. With the crystal, this one stays on. This is chrysocolla. It simply aligns the heart chakra and the throat chakra, allows one to communicate its truth. Another good stone would be the blue calcite. Also for the throat chakra, blue, color blue, things like that. It's good for calming, anxiety, things like that. So nonetheless, exercise, movement, because what happens if we don't release the stagnant energy, it builds up. So movement, release that stagnant energy, breathing out to the mouth, help get rid of it as we put in the thoughts of how we should think. This is how we should think. This is how we should be. Don't be fooled by what someone else thinks, because my person is connected with God in this way. This is our purpose and path, things like that. So in a nutshell, practice makes perfect. Again, work with that chakra, look at that chakra. And if you'd like more information, please feel free to contact my person, usually details. So the website is a good place to start, www.soulhealing. And soul is S-O-L, stands for sons of light. Soulhealing.org, as well as through any of the social medias, Facebook or Instagram, Soul Healing ORG, Soul Healing ORG, or the phone number directly for a text, 202-505-8339, 202-505-8339. And one just other quick thing before my person passes the torch, the ball, the fruit. Coming up April 25th, there is a workshop, emotional wellness workshop. My person was speaking not just about the throat chakra and the mind, and play in the mind, but also all the chakras and how we can use our chakras to really balance our emotional state of being and have a life of emotional wellness and well-being. So give thanks for allowing my person to share. And with that, next up is Precious Mother Love, our sacred arts curator, who is simply going to give us a little bit of information here on the emotions and high blood pressure. Oh, Precious Mother Love.
Okay, we're talking about high blood pressure, but I'm also going to touch on some elements related to that, which is the health of your heart. How heart healthy are you? The main thing is, well, let me just start by saying I am on the road. One of my businesses is called Mom's Wellness Wagon. I am in commute. I am transporting a client who is being attended to by a physician. But what I want to say in reference to heart health, America, this country, the world is in a specific condition that is constricting. If we allow
Mastership.
Frozen in time, as they say. That's what's going on with that. So until Precious Mother Love is able to unfreeze herself, yeah, something like that, we're just going to go on to Sister Clarice and let her share a little insight. Sister Clarice, our natural product specialist,
So
right? Little thing on heart health.
Cortisol will be released, as well as adrenaline. And adrenaline.
All right, we just muted her. I'm going to send her a text, Sister Clarice, so she can reset, because there was so much missed on that. Go right ahead. We'll let her know that she's, we'll get back with her.
Okay, so you can hear me now? One love on this?
Precious Mother Love. That was Precious Mother Love.
I'm in Mom's Wellness Wagon, which is my...
That was, you broke off. You broke off. We was moving on.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now. So unless there's going to be just...
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, you're now. Go ahead and go. Go ahead and go.
It's very important that you hear what I have to say. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Just speak slowly, because you cut off. There was a period of silence. Your screen froze.
I see.
Yes.
Okay, I got excited.
Yes.
Okay, well, let me give you some statistics, okay? I have had 6 strokes, okay, in my time of my profession. I have been under major pressure because I was the vice president of a national firm. I also have worked for the largest firm in the world, and under pressure and under stress with those kinds of things on your shoulder, blood pressure will have the tendency to be challenged. And so over time, I have realized certain ways that have been helpful for relieving the pressure. The systolic, the 2 numbers that you use for your high blood pressure, it actually, there is a number that you want to stay within in a range. I have the tendency to stay on the high end of that. So I have to keep a lot of exercise in my life. I've got to do breathing exercises. I have to look for symptoms and be able to treat each of the symptoms, just as I do a virus, just as I do any other injury. My body will tell me when something is getting ready to happen, or will, certain things will engage if something does happen of a stressful nature. So I just want to share with what I do, and some of this will be addressed when you guys address what your specific remedies are. For instance, stay tuned for Mama Elaine, because she will be doing a breathing exercise as well as yoga. And those are 2 key factors that are...
Well, here we go again. Yes, such an interesting photo. So...
You said slow down.
Welcome back.
Slowing down doesn't help. It must be the signal. Oh, okay. I will refrain from anything further. Just to say, if you would like, if you would like to speak with me further about any of my remedies, love plus art equals wellness, which is also LAW, the acronym LAW. So you can find me on Instagram or Facebook. I have and body hacks I would like to share with you, and I may do one, a live version this week, and stay tuned for an update on that. One love and wellness. My bandwidth is too shaky for me to continue, but I would like to share later.
Right on. Give thanks for that. All right. So next up again on our list, as I say, is Sister Clarice, a little about heart health as it pertains to the holistic connections of high blood pressure. Sister Clarice.
All right. Thanks, Shep. So I was just going off of what Precious Mother Love was mentioning about the heart. Since I deal with my modality is dealing with natural body care products, I'm going to go within the realm of essential oils and also flower essences, which is something a little different that maybe not so many of you actually have heard of. So as you know, most people are familiar with essential oils and how they can help with things like stress. It can also help with high blood pressure and uh, different things that we're dealing with right now with the situation. Some people are dealing with depression and loss and grief and things like that. So I'm going to share some essential oils that are helpful that you can use either in a diffuser. Some people have been seeing the videos where people are taking a bowl of hot water with different orange peels and herbs and things like that and use that as a steam, and you cover your head over the steam with a cloth to inhale to get those properties into your lungs. You could also add certain essential oils to that mix as well, along with breathing that in and getting detoxifying your body of certain things. So I also want to mention that along with the physical property of essential oils also have an energetic aspect to them. They also have a spiritual aspect to them. So they don't just help you physically with your body on a physical level, they also help you emotionally on an emotional level as well. Some of those oils that I'm going to share are dealing with depression, um, dealing with grief, emotion on an emotional level, clary sage, rose, patchouli, and grapefruit in particular. Any kind of citrus oil, citrus fruits like lemons, oranges, grapefruit, those particular things are great for heightening joy, heightening the emotions, bringing those emotions up from that level of grief and sadness to more of a upliftment of mood and emotions. If you're dealing with loss, aching heart, if you know anybody who has been affected within that way, Angelica, as well as Rose again, will also help with dealing with loss, with dealing with um, the passing away of someone you know or a loved one, and it will help you with those particular emotions so that you do not go within that realm of deep depression or deep grief. To some people, they can get into that particular um, realm to where you can't fully function. And then for lowering your blood pressure, essential oils like melissa, nutmeg, and German chamomile are helpful. So those are some things within the realm of essential oils. Now I'm going to go into the a little bit about flower essences. For those who are not familiar, flower essences are pretty much similar to essential oils, where you take herbs and plants and they're put into the form. The essence is extracted and put into the form of a liquid. It's the same thing with flower essences. Only difference is that they're flowers, and they're created in the same way. Mostly, usually, it's with water. The flowers are steeped, or they sit in water in sunlight, and then the essence of that flower is put into the water. And some people use also apple cider vinegar or some type of alcohol. Real quick, some flower essences, they help to shift your emotions, your emotional state. They're not on the level of essential oils where it has a physical effect. It's more so emotional and spiritual within your spiritual body. So some of these flowers that are helpful within this time are things like Star of Bethlehem, pink water lily, which help with grief and loss. Other flowers like coral pink rose helps in particular with situations of death or disaster, anxiety, the feeling of anxiety, that something bad will happen. Coral pink rose will help with that. Last thing, it's a flower called Stanwell and perpetual rose, which helps with finding joy and spiritual endurance when you're feeling weary. And it also gives that extra boost to your energy life force, as well as another flower called Big Nonia. So it's a very interesting and uh, different kind of product. If you would like to look more into them, look them up online. They're called flower essences. You could take them internally. I do take one. This one is called Shasta Daisy, and it helps with fragmented thinking and to think within a holistic way. So I do take them as well. And yeah, for the essential oils, if you are interested, shout out to Sister Ketnu. She's also a part of the Chi. She sells essential oils on her website. A soulful touch.
It
You
is.
can purchase those on her website online as well. So that is all I have for you all, and I am going to pass it on to Brother Shep. And feel free to also contact me if you have any other questions about flower essences.
Right on, right on. Give thanks, Sister Clarice. Give thanks, Sister Clarice. And from my person's perspective, some of those names resonated with the Kemetic metaphysical warrior priest, like the Star of Bethlehem, Angelica. Ooh, it just sounds
Beautiful
delicious.
flower.
Indeed,
Beautiful.
indeed. Right, and we'll carry on in that tradition of flowers and herbs on to Dr. U. We have about 3 herbs, going to get more insight on to, again, carry on this tradition. What you got for us, Doc?
Peace and blessings, everyone. So I'm going to keep my portion really short and simple. And I'm going to mention 3 kitchen herbs that you can utilize to help to control your blood pressure. If your blood pressure is getting a little too high, out of control, the 3 herbs that you can utilize are garlic, parsley, and basil. Garlic, parsley, and basil, really easy to find. You can pick up at your supermarket. Particularly, you want the fresh one for the garlic. You want the parsley, you can use either fresh or dried, as well as basil. The garlic, if you take 1 clove of garlic, you peel it, and you crush the garlic, and you let it sit in a spoonful of extra virgin olive oil. Get a good, particularly organic extra virgin olive oil, or any extra virgin olive oil that's a pure olive oil. Let it sit in that olive oil for 10 minutes, and you swallow a spoonful of that down. You can do that up to about 2 or 3 times a day. Garlic and the olive oil mixture is very good because it helps to break down plaque that might be sitting in the arteries and the blood vessels that make it difficult for the blood to flow through the body. So the garlic is good in that regard. You can use the parsley. The parsley is what we call a vasodilator. A vasodilator means that it helps to dilate or open up the muscles. So it helps to open up the veins and the muscles and things like that, and to ease the constriction. And it's also a natural diuretic for people who take water pill types of medications that cause a lot of urination. You can do the same thing with a parsley tea. You take like a good couple spoonfuls to 1 ounce of parsley, and put that in hot water. You can use up to like about 1 ounce to a quart if you want it nice and strong. And you let that sit like how you would do a tea bag. And then you strain the parsley leaves off and you drink the water from that. And that helps to, again, bring a lot of urine out of the body, helps to clear waste and open up the blood vessels to help to move the blood through the body more easily. And last but not least, we have the basil. The basil is what's called an adaptogenic herb helps your body to better adapt to stress, so stress doesn't affect the body so hard. So you take the basil, you can do the same thing, and of course you can incorporate these culinary herbs into your foods as well. But you want to make sure that you do a pretty good amount. You don't want to do just little small pinches. You want to do like at least about a teaspoon or so of the dried herb at a time, or maybe like about a handful of the fresh herb at a time. You can also juice those herbs as well. And last but not least, you want to make sure that you drink plenty of water. The water is very, very essential to help to move things through the body. So that's what I have for today. If you need to contact me, you can reach out to me via social media as well on Facebook, Dr. U, DOCTA, space YEW, and my direct phone number 202-469-0264, and my website, YEW360.com. Peace and blessings, everyone.
Right on, right on. Give thanks, Doc. Yeah, that's how practical is that? You straight from the kitchen, baby. You don't get no practical, and most of us have at least one of those things, if not two, and or all of them. So yeah, practical ways right here in the house don't cost you nothing, just time. And that's what the HMO is all about, just how to use your time differently to maximize the results that you want. And keeping in line with that, the herbs, the flowers, and practical ways of doing things. We're gonna move right along to Sister Savon. Farmer in the house, you dig? She's gonna lay some stuff on you about salt. Again, another practical mineral, herb ingredient that, can have a profound effect. So yeah, Sister Savon, yes, and the dietary sources of salt.
Actually, I will be doing a live stream from the Collective Health Initiative page this Thursday evening to further discuss lots of things in regards to dietary issues and high blood pressure, as well as some of the unknown sources, things that folks are a little bit unaware of. And it may help guide some people in the right direction to reducing some of the adverse effects and reducing their high blood pressure. So thank you, and I will see you guys on Thursday.
All right, cool. Give thanks for that. More to come, more to come. And so with that, we're gonna turn it over to Mommy Elaine, who's gonna talk a little bit about communal connecting versus social connecting, and just a brief breath demonstration. Mommy Elaine.
Thank you, Master Chef. Community in heart health is important from my perspective because where your environment is and where you are going to have a relationship. I wanted to tell you quickly about where I am in this time in my life and lifestyle. As I go to conferences as a councilwoman in my hometown, I'm unable oftentimes to sit with some people because that group of people have a mindset that's unusual. That's a part of my environment. It's unusual to me. When I eat, what it is that I order is going to sometimes be different. However, I still need the information they have. Are you with me? Can you see that? I need to be able to sit and have that communal conversation with them. Sometimes the conversation is about things like health equity. That is it easier to live in Silver Spring, we're in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area, and get good food? Or is it easier to live more in the more congested areas of Prince George's County? Is the food more readily available? What kind of equality is there in the things that people can have to make themselves feel healthy? So having conversations about health equity would be important. Now I'm separated because we're having a meal, and that meal entails things that I know are not raising my vibration. I know those things are not healthful to me. I've got to make a choice. Well, I'm here to tell you that just as breath is life, that choice is a valuable one to each and every one of us. When you know that's what you are about to encounter in your community, then it's easy enough to reach out and grab the person who is like-minded, share why you do what you do, like the Chi does, and then engage in that community kind of work of raising the vibration. About heart health, as you ingest those kinds of things that are challenges to you, you also have to take care of safeguarding what you know to be true and right and good. So in that safeguarding, I want to share with you in the next minute or so how I would, as a breathologist, someone committed to the art and science of breath awareness, breath mechanics, and the application of the techniques of breathing that will help us enhance our spirit, our minds, and our bodies. That pause right after the word bodies should have been a signal to you to sit up straight and just ingest the nutrients you did not have to buy. I have an experience as you breathe in through your nose that allows you to relax your abdominal muscles. When you've relaxed your abdominal muscles and fill up with good air, now you can exhale consciously. That's what makes the difference. You've been doing this all along, but now you are aware. And turning that awareness will allow you to slow down what's taking place holistically in your physical, in your mental, and in your spiritual space. The experience with just breathing in through your nose, all the way down to the abdomen, and letting that be what we call a continuous breath. Once that breath is finished, exhale. And I'm attempting to do this as I continue to speak with you, but through your nose, you're going to exhale, and exhale completely as you've used everything that you're exhaling to as much as you can. Then breathe in. Notice the body is not moving. It's more of the abdomen, that lower abdomen that you are feeling expand and potentially make you rise up. And one last time with that exhalation, I want to explain to you that the more you can exhale, the more you get rid of, and then there's a story in the end. So breathing in through your nose this time, leveling out those shoulders, being balanced on your sit bones or on your feet if you're standing, and exhale. So with that breath, which I'm calling a continuous breath, you are able to practice and reduce the stress that's taking place in your body if you do. You don't want to call on this when it's very late, things have totally progressed too far. You want to be in practice. Just like going someplace in the community, you want to be in practice with being aware of your breath. We'll do consultations. I can sit and help you give different breaths for different kinds of things. As Sister Precious Mother Love mentioned, the two different ways that your breath, your diastolic and systolic blood pressure show up, is speaking to what it is that's going wrong. We can consult. We can talk about those things. We can talk about what you can do about them. My time has ended, but you can reach me. Best way is through the page of the Collective Health Initiative. I'm Elaine Williams. I'm an Optimum Life breathologist, and I teach yoga. Looking forward to seeing you all again. Ashe.
Ashe, right on, right on. Give thanks, Mommy Lane. Yes, beautiful insights. Again, choices. Every day we have to make choices, and some choices, as subtle as that, can determine, as they it's called a butterfly effect, lasting effect. So yes, give thanks for that. And just to be sure, we don't want to leave any questions out. Stefan is on the boards there. Any questions from anyone who is viewing and/or anyone who is, didn't get a chance to share as much or, add a little insight, add some weight to what they shared before. We have a couple of minutes here.
One Love and Wellness, I would like to share something. I believe I will be doing a live on tomorrow for the further details and related to those statistics, heart health, as it relates to not only the grief and depression that we might be dealing with in this age and time, but also the conditions of the heart in general, the spirit of the heart, as well as the physical heart. So the statistics that I've experienced, the 6 mild strokes, and then if you want to count that I've been stalked 17 times, and I've been engaged 14 times. So I know something about the condition of the heart. But tomorrow at 11 o'clock, I'll be doing a live on our Chi page to further detail what I've been able to learn about the process of managing your emotions as well as your blood pressure, as all of that relates to stress, pressure, and any other emotions that might arise during this kind of time, which, the world is in a state of your emotions are on fleek right now. Whatever they are, I'm sure they're more pronounced than they've ever been. So I just like to share that and hope that you'll join us tomorrow. Me tomorrow. One Love and
Right on.
Wellness.
Indeed. Right on. And if there are no other questions, no other comments, inquiries, we want to leave you with that breath work. And again, I remind you to tune in next week for our special guest, Khaliba Scott, who will give her testimony of her experience of working with the Chi to assist with her health challenge. And until then, be well, be well, be well. And again, give thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Health Class
Class you
You
never
Never
had.
Had. Right on, right on. Indeed. All right.